Greetings, art lovers, and welcome to Sketch School, where we teach you how to draw all your favorite Peanuts characters.
Here's your coffee, sir.
Oh, thank you, faithful sidekick. Kept Snoopy House Blend, my favorite. You know, it's good to have a sidekick around. In fact, that's who we're going to be drawing today. In my opinion, the ultimate cartoon sidekick, Marcie. Now, before we get started, you're going to need a few art supplies that you probably got laying around your house. You're going to need a sheet of paper, and most importantly, you need one of these bad boys, a pencil. I recommend a soft lead. There'll be a number 2 at the top of your pencil to show that. Soft leads drag across the paper less, and they'll give you smoother lines. Oh, and one other thing. If anytime while you're watching our video you think I'm going a little bit too fast, you can always pause it. You can back it up, you can freeze frame it. If you miss a step, you can totally work at your own pace. That's kind of the beauty of our videos. Well, I think that's it. Pencils up, everyone. It's officially cartoon time. All right, comic strip fans, it's sidekick time. Let's draw Marcie. Step number 1, in the middle of your paper, very lightly, sketch in a circle that's about as big as an orange. Now, when I draw a circle, I don't write a letter O. I like to think I'm building a shape here. And to do this, I'm drawing curved lines and then blending them together. Really imagine you're sculpting this. It's a little flat here. I'm going to round it out a little more. Go over this side. Keep adjusting and reworking. Playing with clay and drawing take the same thought process. They're very similar. Alrighty, so we got a circle. Got something to work with. Step number 2, I'm going to add some guidelines. From the top of her head, which will be here, to the bottom, which will be here, very lightly, I'm going to divide this in half. This tells me as an artist, this is the front-facing side of our shape. If she was looking over there, I'd have drawn it on this side. I'm also going to go right to left with another guideline. Basically, I'm very lightly just putting a plus sign on here. Now, Marcie really doesn't have these lines on her face. These are just to help us as artists put the features in the right spot. All right, we're good to go. Step number 1. The first feature I usually like to draw is the nose. That's the center of the head. When you really know where that is, it's a lot easier to get stuff in the right spot. Starting right here in the middle, I'm going to sketch in a nice rounded C curve. Very similar to Sally's nose, but a little bit bigger. Cute characters are always based on soft, round shapes. The more angular a character gets, the harsher they tend to look. If you were designing a comic strip villain or something, perfect stuff for those edges. All right, now this gal's eyes are different than any other Peanuts character. She doesn't have the little dots. She's got these big circles. Basically, they're glasses that are so thick you can't even really see through them. In fact, we never ever see this character's eyes, which is part of her charm. I'm going to start by giving myself one more guideline. Now, here's the guideline for the nose. Check this out. Right above that, I'm going to give myself another guideline. There we go. Guidelines help you build everything. Drawings are about building. So I got a guideline going through here. Start on this side. Right here next to the nose, just sketch in a curve. And then on the other side, sitting right on the same line, this will make it look like her glasses are not bent. Perfect! You can come up here, how tall you want to make these, and give yourself one more guideline. And this is now just a matter of fill in the blanks. Curve for the side, curve for the top, curve for the other side. And just like when you made that main shape here, people, this is the same thing but smaller. If it helps to turn your paper, which I highly recommend, do it. If your wrist is really awkward as you're drawing, like mine is right now, I can't turn this thing. You're drawing an awkward line. Right? If I turned it right now, you would get dizzy out there in the home watching audience. But see how they line up? Top lines up, bottom lines up. And then just darken up the top of that nose. That's where her glasses touch. We're going to put the sides of the glasses on, part that go behind her ears, in just a moment. But let's get some hair on here. I'm going to start right across the forehead. This is very subtle, but it's a very wavy W shape. Starting off the side of the head, it's a curve. And you dip down. And you go up. See, it's like a W. Down, up. Here we go. Make this a gentle line, though. It's not as harsh as an actual W. It's more like a wavy line. Okay. And then right where we left off here, I'm going to curve up. And before you do, just take a moment and round this off. Again, as I was saying, sharp edges and angles make characters look harsh. We don't want that on Marcie. Keep this nice and round. And for the top, there's just a little bit of a dent in this line. You could almost think of her hair as kind of a hat sitting on top of the head shape here. A little bit of a dent and up. There we go. See, there's like this W shape here and a lumpity bump here. In fact, we can even finish the hair on this one side. Starting right on the inside here, just curve right down. This is very much like we did with Peppermint Patty's hair at this point. Curve. And on the side of her head, do the same thing. This line is the same as this one, it's just a little further out. Curvy, curvy. Then you just connect them. Thank you, sir. Is it looking like Marcie? A little bit. Oh man, we're getting there. We almost have a sidekick. And before I add the hair here, I'm going to draw the side of her head. Let's just finish this off. Starting right on my guideline here, I'm just going to curve this down. Again, go for the round shapes. You don't want any straight lines or edges here. This curves, this lines up right along with the bottom of their hair. Her hair is not longer than her jawline, nor is it shorter. Chin line and the hairline pretty much line up with each other. That's definitely a Marcie trait. Charlie Brown met Marcie and Peppermint Patty when he was in summer camp. They were only meant to be in the strip while Charlie Brown was away at summer camp, but well, they proved so popular they ended up transferring to a school, and they've been friends ever since. Now, see how we got the hair on this side? We're going to do the same thing on this side. Starting here, just curve right down, whoosh, and go in. You can get away with a little bit less of it here. In fact, let's punch this out just a little bit. That should be in front of that. Another fun thing about Marcie's hair shape is usually a little hair that just kind of doink sticks off of there. You can bring that on this side too. Charles Schultz would do this with just a pen line. Hello, sir. Then you can finish the glasses. See, you line up right there with that line in the nose. Boop, to the hair. On this side, boop, to the hair. Now for the mouth, here's where it goes, right in the middle, between the nose and the bottom of the circle. I'm going to give her a small, very closed mouth. This is a classic Marcie expression. She's very neutral and passive. She's always kind of in the background, just taking everything in. Very rarely does she interject her opinion. And for her collar, just like with all Peanuts characters, right below the nose, I'm going to draw two straight lines. All the Peanuts have these skinny little necks. Now she wears this cute little orange sweater, which has got a little bit of a collar to it. I'm going to draw a curve, closing it off. And unlike the other Peanuts characters, what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw that same line again just below it. Franklin has the same kind of collar on his t-shirt. Can you close this? Although Franklin's, to me, looks more like a t-shirt. Little Miss Marcie looks like she's wearing a long-sleeve sweater, which is also colored orange. And the final step, if you want, I highly recommend you do a little bit of shading. Just lay the old pencil down on the side here, Shade in a little tone. And don't go crazy with filling this in perfectly. Charles Schulz would very sloppily fill these dark areas in. In comic strips, they call this spotting blacks, where you put in the darker toned areas of the strip with a brush. But he would always leave a little bit of white on there. That would indicate a highlight. Check it out next time you're looking at the strip. You can see them on Lucy's hair. You can see these little highlights he would do on Snoopy's ears. And on Marcie's hair as well. Hey, wait a minute. I think we just did this here, people. There's one last thing you gotta do. Sign your artwork. You just drew your very own picture of Marcie. Man, I never get tired of drawing Marcie. I love those glasses. Kind of remind me of me. Well, thanks for drawing with me, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful time. And until next time, stay sketchy.